With the oncoming news that Asian Americans are now the fastest growing minority population in the U.S., we wanted to know more about the history of Asian American immigration.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Eng.
And I'm Peter Morales, and today we're going to talk about Angel Island. Angel Island is a National Historic Landmark and is also the largest island in San Francisco Bay Area. But who knows anything about it? Ask around, your family, your friends, see if they heard of it. I bet most of the answers you get will be no. However, tens of thousands of Chinese people who came to America seeking the promise of a better life came to know Angel Island indeed. Years ago, Angel Island was designated to be the West Coast version of Ellis Island. In our mind's eye, we can picture the immigrants from all over the globe pouring into the United States, our melting pot, being welcomed and warmed by the thoughts of their new lives.
Imagine yourself taking all the money you've saved, getting on a crowded boat, traveling thousands of miles to follow a dream to a new life. You don't speak the language, yet you have to undergo a grueling interview to gain entry. And somehow, the thought of becoming a laborer in this new country still seemed worthwhile. You get there to find out that you're not welcome. A law has been passed excluding you from entry. As the law put it, quote, Chinese laborers coming to the United States endanger the good order of certain localities. The coming of Chinese laborers into the United States is hereby suspended. So they were sent to the detention camps. That was Angel Island. There were no angels there. As they endured the long and humiliating process of finding out whether they would be admitted or turned away, the would-be immigrants etched their frustrations and their hopes on the walls of the barracks.
Because my house had bare walls, I began rushing all about. The waves are happy, laughing ha-ha. When I arrived on island, I heard I was forbidden to land. I could do nothing but frown and feel angry at heaven.
Shocking news, truly sad, reached my ears. We mourn you. When will they wrap your corpses for return? You cannot close your eyes. Whom are you depending on to voice your complaints? If you have foresight, you should have regretted coming here. Now you'll be forever sad and forever resentful. Think of the village. One can only futilely face the terrace for gazing homeward. Before you could fulfill your ambition, you were buried beneath earth and clay. I know that not even death could destroy your ambition.
When we arrived, they locked us up like criminals in compartments like the cages at the zoo. They counted and then took us upstairs to our rooms. There were 2 to 3 rooms in the women's section, all facing the shore. Each of the rooms could fit 20 to 30 persons. The spring beds could fold up. The main door was locked, but we could go into the other rooms from the hallway. The hall was wide, with tables and chairs where you could play dominoes. You didn't have to stay in your room during the day. You could come out into the hall. There was also an office there. We could ask questions of the white woman who took care of us at the office. One kid who had stayed for 2 years could speak English. He called her Mama. He was 8 or 9. He translated for us. The woman even gave the boys haircuts that were staying in the section at that time. There was also a backyard that was fenced in so we couldn't get out. We could hang our wash out there. It wasn't too bad. It was just that you couldn't go out. The place was very clean. There were 2 bathrooms with 3 or 4 stalls inside of each. The toilet doors were cut off at the bottom so they could see your feet. Maybe it was because they were afraid of people committing suicide. There were wash basins, sinks, bathtubs, hot water, toilet paper, and soap for us to use. People chatted in the hallways or in their rooms, sang for pleasure, or read books. The old-timers were familiar with one another, but it left the newcomers pretty much alone. We were Sam Yup and didn't know them. When we arrived, we were kind of shy and distant, so there really wasn't much to say.
刘笔初见到美洲，谁知道此垒双流。上落得志成功日，定斩忽然潮不流。
Leaving behind my writing brush and removing my sword, I came to America. Who was to know 2 streams of tears would flow upon arriving here? There comes a day when I will have attained my ambition and become successful. I will certainly behead the barbarians and spare not a single blade of grass.
For 1 month, I was imprisoned, and my slippers never moved forward. I came on the Manchuria and will return on the Mongolia. But if I could make the trip to Nanyang, I would. Why should America be the only place to seek a living?
I was forced to come to America. I had never seen my husband before. My mother matched me in marriage so I can bring the family over later. I had a passport to come when I was 16, but I didn't come till I was 23 when the Japanese attacked. Mary?
Most of us came as daughters of citizens or wives of businessmen. Other wives weren't allowed to come. I came as a granddaughter of a citizen. The papers had been purchased for me.
I have been in the wooden building for more than 10 days. My eyes have seen people being deported back. Witnessing that scene makes one sad. Spending more than 5,000 gold coins, I drifted alone to this place. If I am unlucky enough to be deported, my parents will be grieved. The interest piles one on top of another. I do not know yet when it will be completely repaid to the creditor.
Angel Island operated from 1910 to 1940. During this time, 75 to 80% of the Chinese arrivals eventually made it through immigration, but not before being humiliated, disengaged from their families, and terrified of their future.
Unlike its counterpart Ellis Island on the East Coast, Angel Island became more of a symbol of rejection than of welcome. It was not until 1943 that the exclusionary laws have been changed, and Angel Island will now be preserved to remind us of this period in our American history.
This is called an island of immortals, when in fact, this mountain is a prison. Once you see the open net, why throw yourself in? It is only because of empty pockets I can do nothing else.